Hey guys, this is going to be update number 1 on the Huffy racing mower build. As you can see here, I have it all taken apart, all stripped down and everything. And this video, being the first update and everything, I'm just going to show you guys the plans I have for it and some of the things that I've already done. So, as you can see, I have clearly taken it apart, stripped everything down, all the parts are off. You can see here I got a whole box full of the original parts that are not going to be used. See the wiring's in there, all the parts for the deck, some body pieces, just everything that's not going to be used. There might be a part or two I missed that I'll have to dig out, but for the most part, that's the parts I'm not going to use. Another part I'm not going to use is the rear body section. I won't be using this seat. The fenders, I may try to use them. I'll go more into detail on that later. But I won't be using this body here. I won't be using that assembly. But I will be using the original frame. I will be using that. I'll be using these footrests that are on each side. There's that one right there. Using both of those. I'll be using the dash tower, and I will be using the hood. So what I've done, let me show you guys this new axle that I got. You can see this is the original Huffy mower axle, rear axle. It has the Peerless differential axle thing. It's like it has a differential built into the rear axle, so it's not a solid live axle. It's got a sprocket on it, bearing hangers, 16-inch tires on an 8-inch rim, and this axle is like 32 inches long, I think. From there to there is like 32 inches long. And this is the new one I got. It's not new, it's new to me, but it's a 40-inch axle from end to end. It's a 40-inch axle. It's 1 inch thick. That one was 7/8. It came with rims and tires, bearings, and a sprocket, but I won't be using any of that. All I'm getting off is the axle. It is a little rusty, but it'll do for now. I can clean up the rust and get it all looking nice. Get the sprocket off. This rim right here is stuck, and so is the sprocket. And I'm going to try and press them out with a hydraulic press, but if worst comes to worst, I'll cut this off, but I'll try to save the rim. But anyway, just for a size comparison between the two, you can see how much wider of a stance it's going to have. There's a good tire and a half between their sizes. So that's how long it's going to be, the new axle stance and everything. And of course, let me move this over to the side here. Get it all out of the way. Another thing that's not going to be used is this shock absorber that was mounted to the seat back here. That'll be taken off. I just haven't done that yet. But this axle, it will sit on this mower just about like this. Just like that, not necessarily in this position, but somewhere right in there, give or take a few inches, side to side, forward and backwards. That's where it'll be. And of course the frame will be attached, and I'll have to cut a notch out for the sprocket. It'll be a much smaller sprocket though. It won't be this one, like I said. But yeah, that's how that's going to sit. And I'm going to get some new, some racing rims and some racing tires. As far as the front axle goes, I'm not going to use any part of the original front axle. I might use the part that mounts to the frame, this orange part here. I might use that, I might not. Really can't decide. But that's how it's going to be sitting, is like that. The frame will be attached up off the ground, front and back, of course. The steering wheel, right now, or when it gets done, the steering wheel will be sitting at an angle. Instead of down like this, it'll be sitting more like this. Instead of how it is right now, it'll be sitting more like this. This is part of the steering here. Have it set off to the side. It's like a U-joint thing, and it is perfect for this project. Being that this mower had this for the steering, means that I won't have to be fabricating near as many supports and brackets and stuff for the steering column, because it has this U-joint thing. See, on the front here, it'll be positioned somewhat like that. And like I said, the steering wheel will be sitting at an angle like that, instead of how it is now. Like that, it'll be sitting like that, and that'll come in down to there, and then that part swivels down, so it'll be perfect for me. That just bolts right onto the steering column with this bolt. Some of the things that I've already done to the frame, after I got it stripped down, here, let me move this axle back. Oh, this is the engine that I'm going to be using. It's a Honda GX200 modified. Not done modifying it. I'll make a separate video on that, or maybe I'll go into detail on it later. But this thing is going to be sitting in there, and it's just barely going to fit. I might have to notch the frame out a little for it, the torque converter, or I just recently found out you can mount the torque converter like up, which would be great. That's what I would need. Or you can mount it not to the front. I don't know. I haven't really looked into detail into it that much. But yeah, it'll be sitting in there. Real quick before I take the hood and stuff off, I'll go into detail for the fenders for you guys. These fenders, they come apart right here. There's just 2 or 3 bolts holding them on, and I'd really like to use just the fender, not this whole assembly, just the fender, and have them kind of like over here, like covering. I don't know. I haven't really planned that out. I haven't really planned that part out yet, but I'm hoping I can use them. I really like the fenders. But so here's what I've done to the frame so far. As you can see, everything comes apart already. The hood was just kind of sitting there, just for the video purposes. This is the Huffy frame. Oh, and I actually took some sandpaper and sanded all the rust off the top. So you can see the difference between that and this, which it was all across the hood, joined up right there. So you can see the difference between this color and that color. It sanded off real nice. I will be repainting this though, original colors. But now the steering wheel, it'll come out too. And what I mean by it'll be sitting at a different angle is, instead of like that how it was, it'll be more like that. And also it'll have handlebars instead of a steering wheel. Because once you get going 40-50 miles an hour on one of these things, you don't want a steering wheel, you want some handlebars so you can have really nice control over your wheels. And since I have a handlebar, there will be no need for a gas pedal or brake pedal, because it'll all be thumb controlled like that. You got your brake lever, twist throttle or thumb throttle, and all your controls like in the middle on a dashboard thing. Let me get this taken off. As you can see, it's all just sitting there, like I said. And you can see where that mounted up before. Slid back. Not just mounted up with these bolts here and a couple on the sides. Like I said, I won't be using this, just that. These little footrests here, they're not secure right now. There's a pin that goes on the back, two separate ones on the back, and one that runs straight through the middle on the front. That's why they come up right now. But as you can see, there is a large kind of like gash right here. You can tell it's supposed to end right here, and I've extended it up to here, and I did that with a grinder, and I did it for a reason, and you will see once I flip this over. It might be hard to do with one hand. That's good enough. You can see those footrests aren't very secure right now, and that shock, it laid over. It swivels, it's supposed to. But the reason that I have cut the frame out right there, you can see I've done a lot of grinding. There, all right in there, and up there, is because on this side here, on both sides, but I haven't done the other side yet, so I can compare to y'all. But you can see here where I grinded, right across from it, is this little thing right here. It's a little gusset. And it's like a notch in the frame that keeps this from being a perfect 90-degree angle. You can see it's all 90-degree angle, and then you hit this. And that's a problem for me. See, I had to go and remove this one, this one. These little things are like for the bolts, so they can bolt in. I had to remove that one, because I need this to be perfectly flat, and I need this to be perfectly flat. And I don't know, I don't think I'll have to grind away this lip. There's a little lip right here. Camera doesn't pick it up. But I had to grind away that. There was a little mounting tab right here that I just removed so it wouldn't be in my way. This thing runs down to there, and it did run up to right here, and I had to cut that off because it was too close to this edge. Had to cut this off. I don't know, it was another one of these mounting things. Had to cut that off, and then just like this one here, I had to cut that off up here. And also these two tabs I had to cut off on this side. You can see the holes are still there, but these little square tab thing, rectangular tabs are gone. I had to grind them off. And then you can see over here where this big gash is right here. What is the same thing on this side one I have to do. It's just like these notches back here, but they extend like 5 inches. And so I had to take out that whole section of frame over there, and I'll have to do it on this side too. And y'all are probably wondering why I had to do that, and this is the reason right here. That's why I had to do it, is so I can lay those bars in there. Now you're still probably wondering, why do you need those bars in there? And that is because I'm going to come right here with a welding machine, and I'm going to weld all the way along this line here and down here, and then all the way on the bottom, and then I'll do up around here, and then I will take and grind out all these notches that I don't need on this side, and then I will lay in this second piece here on this side, and I'll weld it in all the way along, top and bottom, and around the side here. And then I will take a plasma cutter or a torch, and I will cut this, it's probably like 2 inches of the front of the frame off, because I don't need that part of the frame. Then once I get that done, or actually before I weld this in, I'm going to cut this angle right here at a 45-degree angle, so it's like this. And then I will take a shorter piece and cut it at a 45 angle, so it lays in and meets up at that angle, but it closes the edge up, so that way I don't have an open hole here. Like if I were to just lay in a piece right here and weld it, there'd still be an open end here, and water, dirt could get in there. So I will cut it like that, and then it'll mate up and make an angle, kind of like how a picture frame does it. I don't know, you can go look at a picture frame for an example. But I'll do that, weld that piece across, and then I'll cut the front off, and then I will weld my front axle on here, which may or may not be that piece of metal there. And then I'll get a front axle kit offline for like a racing go-kart thing. And that's pretty much all I've done so far on the frame. I'll probably finish up grinding out all these edges tomorrow or sometime this week. Pretty busy with some other things. So that's what I've done so far. Hopefully I will get these angles cut here pretty soon on that piece and that piece there, and get them welded in, and then get that other piece, lay it in and weld it in. And then on the back here, I'm not going to make another one of those angle cuts. I don't need to. I already have this piece in. It's pretty strong. It's thicker than the rest of the body, so I'm not worried about it. Oh, the reason why I'm putting those in here is because I don't want the frame to be flexing, and also I want some really solid metal to be mounting my axle to, and my motor plate. I'll have to get a plate that lays in there for the motor to mount into. But yeah, I won't worry about this piece here. It's sturdy enough. I'll weld it there, and the other piece will be welded there. So the only problem I have that I can tell is that pin that runs through here for the footboards is you can see the hole is right here, and this piece of square tubing comes up over that hole. So that'll be a problem. Maybe I'll have to like get a drill bit and kind of drill like a little gully in here so that pin can fit in there, and here too, because I really like these stock footboards. I'm going to keep them and use them. You can see the pin there that holds that on, and that one, and then that one in the front, just a really long pin. So yeah, hopefully on the next video, update number 2, I'll have these things done. Maybe some parts will be here, some bearings, rims, tires, or something. Hopefully something will be here, some spindles. And hopefully I'll have made up my mind whether I'm going to use that piece or not. Maybe I can find another piece of solid metal like this stuff. So yeah, I'll make another video on this engine here pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. So thanks for watching. Hope you liked the little update on the racing mower. So thanks for watching.